Hey y'all, I'm Noah the Squid, and welcome to my No-Sew Sylveon. Normally I like to do a lot of sewing, but for some reason I did not want to touch a needle and thread with a 10-foot pole during this project. Normally I do enjoy sewing a lot. I mean, I made the full red dress from Belle for a con back in October. I'm sewing the shirt for my Eevee cosplay that I'll be doing eventually, once I pick that project back up again, because I lost stamina for it. Hell, I'm even making like a pair of jeans from scratch for another cosplay that I'll be taking to Denver Fan Expo in July. Like, I like sewing. It's a great mindless task most of the time. With that in mind, I do think some of these things would have gone by faster in this cosplay if I had some instead of used glue. Because normally I like to use a mix of glue and sewing, but, like I said, didn't want to touch a needle and thread with a 10-foot pole. And besides, not everyone has, like, access to sewing and is able to sew, but you know what is cheap? A bottle of fabric glue. And also the fabric that I used for this cosplay was very cheap. You know those, when you go into the fabric section at Walmart and it is just like 1 yard wrapped around a piece of, I knew I had one around here but it's on the floor, a piece of cardboard. Yeah, that's what that was. I just got 2 of them. Obviously the gluing fabric isn't the only part of this that was no-sew. I still had ears to make, I had an underskirt to make, I had a prop wand to make. That's just the first thing that comes to mind. So, I will stop my rambling and you can watch the process that I did, at least the parts I recorded. And I'll explain the parts that I didn't record too. I'll make diagrams. Yeah, I'll make diagrams. And then watch me get into cosplay and see the makeup look. Alright, starting with the underskirt, I got a thing of pink tulle from Amazon, 6 inches wide and 25 yards long. Measured each strand to be about twice as much as I needed for it to go down to my knees. Then I took a thing of yarn and measured it around my waist. I fashioned a crude hook closure out of wire, and then I tied the strands of tulle in the middle onto the string and shifted them around as needed to make the underskirt kind of full. And that's basically it for that part. It is pretty simple if I do say so myself. I do. That's why I'm saying it. For the ears, I bent out some wire shapes and glued white fabric together over top. Now, in hindsight, I should have done it wrong sides facing each other, then flipped it around, and then put the wire in. However, hindsight is 2020, and I'm apparently an idiot. But after that, I painted a few layers of dark blue paint for the inside of the ears and light pink on the outside, even though it's going to be covered with the yarn wefts I'm about to brush out on video. I didn't want the white peeking through. I did also add a lighter blue to the base of the ear just to mimic the actual Pokemon's ear a little better. I wasn't originally going to do that, but I felt like the detail was needed. The wefts are made from a kind of thick acrylic yarn that I brushed out with a wire brush, and then I glued down the edges with Mod Podge to create a base to glue them onto the ears. After that's dried, I straightened them out, rebrushed them, and attached the ears to hair clips that I painted pink, then attached the fur. After giving them a haircut, I attached some ribbon to where the wire was showing, and later, as a finishing touch, I used the clippings from the haircut and some hot glue to finish up the rough edges. The shoes are just some Mary Janes that I bought at Goodwill over the summer and painted. They are actually for my Doki Doki Literature Club cosplays, but I figured they fit the color palette. For the wand, I just painted a wooden dowel pink, sculpted a topper that kind of looked like one of the fairy type symbols, painted that pink, and added some butterfly-ish markings in Sylveon's color. I then wrapped a white ribbon around the base and added a bow, added a wing charm I had, glued down some crystal blue beads to the bow and added 3 little bells that I painted blue, and yes, they do jingle when shaken. Here's a diagram for a smaller version of the large bow I made. After gluing it into that final shape, wrap fabric around the middle and glue that down. As for the ribbons, I cut out 4 ribbon shapes per size so I'd have 2 big ribbons for the bow and 2 small ones for the hair. Then I glued them wrong side out and pulled them right side out after they dried, inserted a wire shape inside each to give them some more shape, and then ironed them. Later on, you'll see me attach the bow with Velcro. I've since realized that is a dumb decision, and you can attach it to the waistband by just kind of sliding it through the fabric in the middle of the bow. I don't know why I decided to Velcro it. This was a lot easier. Here's the makeup that took way too long, but I will make a YouTube short about that later. And now it's time to put on all of this. I put the tights on off camera, and then here's the underskirt. Gotta adjust it a bit, but it works. The tank top is only there until I put on this dress, which I got cheap off of Amazon. And of course the mandatory twirl for the dress. And here is the wig, which is just reused from my Natsuki cosplay. I just styled it differently, so Doki Doki is coming in clutch for this cosplay. Like I said, I'm just reusing some shoes that I already painted for previous cosplay. The waistband is just some fabric glued to have cleaner edges and a metal loop with a Velcro fastener in the back, along with some more ribbon glued down the middle of it just to add some more pink. And like I said, I'm about to attach the bow with Velcro here, but do not be like me. Do the other method I showed earlier, because this way it does not give the bow enough, like, I want to say volume, but that's probably not the right word. It doesn't stand up as well as it should, in my opinion. Here are the ears, which took a bunch of adjusting with bobby pins, which I also painted pink because on this channel we make do and use shortcuts. Then I just pinned on the ribbons with the clips for the ears. Had on the low effort necklace that I literally just painted pink and put on a ribbon with a crude wire fastener in the back. Put on those cheap Amazon gloves that I will probably replace with better, fancier gloves that are handmade one day. Then pick up that wand and there you go, you've evolved into a fairy type.